welcome to Lady Melody's round 3. She wins the roll-off, so she'll be on the play here against her opponent Vince. She is rocking the same deck as last round, obviously, same tournament. So she's playing her Winter is Coming deck. And we've yet to see what Vince is bringing to the table, but he is mulliganing. So he'll be going down to 6 cards here. And just spend it up for you. Doing that shuffle. And back to the draw. And this is the those Sisters of the Flame quarantine tournament that we held. And Vince here checking out his hand. What are we going to go with? Pick one and pitch it. Nope, a second mulligan. Okay. So that's an advantage for Lady Melody here already. Is that Vincent is going down to 5 cards so far. Unless he decides to go to 4. No, okay, that's it. Okay, and Lady Melody will kick this round off with a Forest. And will it be anything to follow it up with? No, it's a pass. And then a Taiga Curd Ape. Oh, well, that's the start you want when you're playing those colors. Taiga Curd Ape. Beautiful. And it's passed back to Lady Melody. And what we're going to see, here's a Strip Mine. Taking out that Taiga. The Curd Ape goes from a 2-3 to a 1-1, just like that. That is awesome. That's what you want to do. So both decks, you know, really working here, which is what you want to see. That's what makes a good match. It's no fun when someone gets, you know, mana screwed one way or another. And there is a Gazban, so that could easily handle a 1-1 Curd Ape. Oh, it's a 2-3 again. Okay, coming in for 2. She blocks the Gazban. It's basically use it or lose it. If she doesn't block, she loses it on her next upkeep. So might as well avoid that 2 damage coming in at you. Which isn't bad. Turns it into like a little fog, you know. And another elf after that. Well, a elf. Lady Melody drops a Forest and passes. And here we got a second Forest, a swing for 3. And she's eaten all 3. Goes down to 17. Okay, Vince with the strong advantage here. Can Lady Melody catch up? Third Forest. Tappy Tappy. Pixies. 2-1. Somewhat protection from artifacts. Great card. The Curd Ape comes in though, because he can handle those Pixies. And is she blocking? She's blocking and she's giant growthing. That Curd Ape could not handle those Pixies. Nope. Alright. Ooh! Urnum Jin. Okay, Pixie. Can you pull out another giant growth to deal with Ernie over here? We will find out. Man, that was exciting. Alright, show it to us. I guess there's no reason to attack with the Pixies, even if you are holding the giant growth. Right? Because he wouldn't block. Would he? I don't know. Here comes the swing, though. 5 damage coming in. Blocking. And are we going to see it? Well, she blocked the elf. She took the Urnum. Okay, that smack for 4 drops it down to 13. But it's her turn now. 5 mana available. What will we see come out of that deck? Maybe an Ernie of its own? Might be a little too late for that to even save her, actually. 2 mana. 1 mana. Gazban, okay. And another Gazban. Not sure what we have in store for us here. Okay, draws his card. And what are we going to see happen? 2 Gazban overs in the field. She blocks with both. Is there a giant growth? No, they both just got wiped away. Looked like maybe it was a bluff tactic, but one would have done it, really, because that would have made a 5-5. And here we have a Whirling Dirge to follow it up with. That's not something you want to give Forest Walk to, because she can catch up with that. He comes in with Ernie. She eats it down to 9. And she draws. That Dervish has Forest Walk, sneaks right on in for 1, drops down to 19, and at the end of the turn, it gets a +1 counter, makes it a 2/2. Pixie's coming out. Fun fact, it was let slide here, but Dervish gets his counter at the end of the turn, so by you putting your counter there, you're showing your turn is over. So watch out for that yourselves. Ernie come back in. And what will we see happen? Throwing the Pixie in front of it as a chump? Or is there a giant growth? Nope, right out with the Pixies. That's fine. Another 4 damage avoided. And anything to follow that up with? No, it's pass. Lady Millie's about to hit in for 2 with that Dervish. Drops him down to 17. Alright, that's a good thing. Green on green action. Oh, and a second Dervish. Okay, you know what? She's 3 turns out. If it's both those Dervishes get in, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 6 would be 10. Then she get another turn for 8. Oh, but she blocked with a Dervish. Okay, that's fine. That saves another turn. But I think she would have won that punch off if she just snuck in with those Dervishes. But he drops down to 14 here. And then a Nass Asp, ready to block that Urnum for this round, I suppose. Yeah, I mean, unless I had my math wrong, I think Nass Asp blocking the Urnum, especially this round, unless Vince played something to stop that second Dervish, I think those Dervishes would have brought it right home for her. Oh, it's Shade Lining, that works. That would take out the Dervish now, which would be a 2/2. Oh, there's his Black Lotus proxy made by his daughter, actually. He's pointing this out. Beautiful card. You could hit Vince up for commissions, I'm sure. But he chains the Asp, the potential blocker here, so they can get into this Urnum. And a Lightning Bolt to Melody's face drops her to 6. He's going to Mana Burn with that last red mana floating. Down to 13 life here. Comes in with the Urnum. And, oh, Giant Growth! That does it! Drops from 6 to dead. Wow, what a game 1. Vince wins it. He's at 1-0. Let's let these contestants sideboard up and get right into game number 2. Alright. Both our contestants are all sideboarded up and right into game 2 here. Melody drops her first Forest of the game. Vince goes Forest Elf. Great start for a mono green deck. Melody says, "This is my second Forest." And tappy tappy. What are we going to see? Ooh, here we are. Elvish Archers, 2/1 first strike. What a great card. I think highly underestimated card. Mono green knows how great it is. And Vince drops his Argothian Pixies. Protection from artifacts-ish. Great card. And Winter Orb, there it is. Followed up with a Elf of her own. Okay, that's where she wants to be. Coming with the Archers, he eats it down to 2. He eats 2, goes down to 18. And that's it, that's her deck working, but with that Elf in play, it's not going to be working as much as she wants it to. Mono green has no way to really just get rid of it. Unura Beasting, I think, is the first card that would have helped her out here. That's not until, I think, Mirage or Visions. And Unura Beasting, was that ever played? Leave a comment if Unura Beasting, the green expensive shock, was ever played in like a top tier deck. I really want to know. Vince coming in, he blocks the elves with the elves. This is your chance to take it out, but no, he says Giant Growth the elf. Take your elf out, keep in mind. And that was definitely a bait, but it was worth a shot. If it was a, it would have been a risky bluff to take, but it could have been a bluff, who knows. And Nass Asp here, great card in conjunction with the Winter Orb, because you got to pay that 1 mana or take a damage. So really, I mean, it's going to be doing 2 damage to you because you probably can't afford to never get mana unless you drop a land. But if playing elves and birds, you could probably make it happen. Not sure if Vince has birds in there, if it's just the Llanowars. Lady Melody's deck, I'm sure, is just Llanowars, actually, because that 1 damage is often very important. If you're going to invest the mana, she doesn't need to get high-cost mana creatures. She's not running Urnums. It's all like 1-2 mana creatures in there. And Vince here deciding what he's going to do with his life. Looking up the text on the Naf's Asp here, just to make sure he knows what's going on. And I am loving this mono green versus mono green thing we have going on here. Elves and pixies. It's like some kind of magical forest you're in, like some kind of wonderland. Vince comes in for 2, smacks Melody down to 16 before playing a Whirling Dervish. What a great card the Whirling Dervish is, by the way. It just utterly decimates mono black. But in this green versus green standoff here, it's just a 1-1, pretty much. Oh, but Lady Melee's coming with both. He's thrown the Dervish in front of something here. The Asp, I guess, which was Giant Growth. So that Dervish is out of here. And Vince takes the 2, goes down to 14 from the Archers. And back to him here, coming in with his 2-1. And it's just like the battle of tiny punches. Just 2 to you, 2 to you, no you, no you. And here's a 1-1 flyer. Oh, this is a fun deck, fun game to watch. These little green guys just punching each other, just having like a little brawl in the woods. And here's her pixies. It's a beautiful mirror matchy type thing going on. And coming in, Archers and the Asp. He's got the Elf and the Script Sprites untapped, putting the Sprites in front of the Asp, and taking the rest, goes to 12 before taking his turn. So it's 14-12. Drops a City of Brass, so he's been locked out of red, actually. I forgot he had red in that deck. He's back into red now, taking on damage for that City of Brass, and there is the Curd Ape. And he's pretty beefy in this setup here, 2-3, and that is a proxy Chaos Orb, I believe, also done by his daughter. And wow, Curd Ape is a problem, but not for a Script Sprite who can fly right over his head. So that'll drop Vince down to 10, and I mean the Archer would need Giant Growth to take out that monkey, right? Does green have anything else to help him out with this? Does it need like icy manipulators? What needs to happen here? Okay, Vince says I'm coming in. The Argothian pixies don't stand a chance against this Archer, unless it's another bait. He's taking the damage, and he's bolting the Archers, which I suppose were put in front of the pixies here. So 2 damage gets in from the Curd Ape, dropping Lady Melody down to 12 life, and Vince tapped out, passed his turn. It looks like Winter Orb will be doing some work here, because, oh, Strip Mine. Strip Mine takes out, what, the Forest or the Red Source? The Forest, drops the Monkey down to 1-1, makes him very manageable again. And that Elf, Vince can't risk losing that Elf. He needs it for mana because the Winter Orb is keeping him locked down. Here's a Whirling Dervish for Melody, and 1 in the air from the Script Sprite. He's looking at his hand like his options. What do you have, a Fog? You have 1 green mana from your Elf. Take your damage. Alright. So that drops him down to 8. And oh, he has Chaos Orb, sorry. And he's orbing the Whirling Dervish here. He lands it, so Dervish is gone. And Dervish, he was ready to do some work. You know, getting bigger return is a scary thing, especially in this format. You know, even by today's standards, you see Hydras doubling their power and toughness every turn. It's absolutely crazy. Back then, you had Whirling Dervish. You know, Script Sprites came in for 1 again, but the life totals are evening out here. 8-7. Monkeys on the board doing work. What are we going to see? Can Lady Melody pull us out? 2 Giant Growths will end the game right now. Or Giant Growth Berserk, something like that. Whirling Dervish. And they've been like an MVP here for both players. They've been showing up a lot and doing work. Oh, the Curd Ape is really Vince's MVP, I believe. Just that 3 toughness is a lot to get around in from Melody. Drops a mountain, no forest, so those monkeys are still 1/1s. And coming for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What's the right play here? I guess it's to kill the 2 monkeys, right? Before they get any bigger. Just toss them up in front of them. What is she going to do? Yes, she blocks both monkeys. That's exactly what I would have did. And they're gone. Oh, and he plays another one. There's no stopping them. Okay. So it's Lady Melody's turn. She's going to untap her 1 forest because of Wind Orb. And what do you have? What can get you out of the situation? What 1 green anything gets you out of this? You know? I guess she's trying to decide that herself. If there's anything in her hand, if there's anything in her deck she could draw in conjunction with something in her hand that can make this happen. Hurricane for 1 will kill the pixies and drop them down to 6. Drop you to 4. Put you on 2 twin clock. Oh, I'm sorry. The forest was dropped. So that's 5 coming in. Do you have it? No. She drops to 0, and that is game. Vince, congratulations on your victory. And to my viewers, thank you for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe. If you really dig me, there's a link to my Patreon in the description. This is Baron Nick, and I'm done here.